Welcome to our lesson on geometry, and in this lesson, this is our first lesson, we're just going to basically introduce you to a few important terms. So as the lesson progresses and as we start to use these terms, you will understand what they mean. All right. Now, the first term here that I would like to look at is what is a plane, and by definition, a plane means level ground, or we're working with a flat surface. Okay, so just a typical example, you may be sitting around a table. If you look at the top of the desk would be a flat surface. So that's what we're referring to when we speak about a plane, right? It's a flat surface, or it's the top of the desk, or it's level ground. Let's say you play football for some reasons. Okay, just let me just get this out. And the football pitch, let me use a green to represent my plane since I'm dealing with a football pitch. Now, guys, let's say you play football, or you may play netball or whatever, right? Now, the ground that the pitch is on would be a flat surface. So if it's football we're talking about, let's say that's our football field, and imagine I'm looking at the football field from a side view. Okay, I'm standing at the side and looking straight at the pitch. So at this end of the pitch I would have a now at this end of the pitch, yeah, I would have a goal post. So let's say this is my goal post, this is my net, and let me change my color a bit. Now this would be my goal post. Okay, so that's my goal post right there. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. So that's one goal. The red represent the net, and at the other end of the football pitch I would have another goal post. Okay, so at this end also, let me draw my net. So this would be my net, the net at the back of the goal to catch the ball when someone scores a goal. All right, so that's my other goal post. Okay, so this green surface here, this line, this green line represents the surface of the football field. All right, and let's say for example the green grass, and if you notice it's flat, it's level. So that's what we mean when we're speaking about a plane basically. All right, let's move on to our second term that we would like to introduce you to other than a plane, and the second is a point. We must know what is a point when working with as it relates to geometry rather, right? Now, a point is a location in space, and if you notice I have put the word location in bold because it's very important to note that we're not speaking about a dot, right? And I'll show you what I'm speaking about in just a few. Now, a point is a location in space. Note, this is very important, that a point has no thickness, no depth, no length, nor depth. Remember now, guys, a point is something that we cannot touch. All right, it is simply a location, and let me underline that very important word. Okay, it is simply a location, and remember now, it has no thickness, so you can't touch it, you can't lift it up, you can't measure it. Okay, now some persons may be accustomed to the whole fact that, and let me just get something here quickly. If I should do something like this, if I should make a dot there, they would say, okay, that's a point. No, this is not a point. This is a dot, or most commonly called a period. Okay, it is not a point. When I'm speaking about a point, I'm speaking about a specific location. So if I want to, I could say that this dot, this red and blue dot, is located at a point, and the point that this red and blue dot, or red and blue dot, yes, is located at, it is close to the bottom of the screen and close to the left of the screen also. Okay, so I am speaking about this specific location. Sorry about that. I'm having a little bit of cold, so please bear with me. So this is what I'm saying. Where the dot is located is the point, but this is a dot, it is not a point. All right, so please try to distinguish the difference between a dot and a point, because a point is simply a location. We can't even see it. All right, thank you. Now that's it for two terms. Now the third term that I would like to look at is what is a straight line. Okay, and bear in mind, a straight line, is what I mean by what is a line here for number 3. Now, a line is a collection of points following a specific path and running forever in opposite direction. All right. Okay, so now let's just look at what this definition means. All right, I'm just going to draw a line, for example. Now let's look at some quick examples. So my first line, let me use a black color quickly. All right, black. My first line, want a black. So, well, that's a blue. So that's my line. All right. Now, this is pretty cool. When you draw a line, once you're dealing with a line, arrowheads must be on the tip of the lines. This indicates, what the arrowheads indicates is that this line doesn't stop here. It runs forever going in to my left, and it is running forever going in this direction to my right. Okay. What I'll do, I'm going to show you something now. Let's mark this point on the line, and let's mark this point on the line here, and I'm going to call those 2 points. This is point A, and this point would be point B. All right. Now, sometimes you may be reading books or maybe in the exam, and you'll see notations such as these, and I'm just going to do it quickly here. You'll see, for example, an arrowhead like that, and an arrowhead, and below it you will have A, B. Now, what this notation means, that it means that they're speaking about the line AB, because if you look here, you would see that the line passes through the points A and the points B, but it continues forever. It continues forever to the left, continues forever to the right. Okay, so that's what we mean when we're speaking about a line. Okay, another important note that I would like to make when working with lines is that there are different types of lines that we should be aware of, and quickly I'm just going to run through them very quickly. The first one I would like to look at is the horizontal line. All right, and this line that we have drawn here just now, the name of this line would be a horizontal line. And let me just make a quick note of it before I move. This is a horizontal line. Horizontal zone. Okay, so that's a horizontal line. Let's just pull this over a bit to get a little bit more space. So this is a horizontal line. Okay, the name of this line, the type of line that I've drawn here. Now, there are other types of lines that I would like you to be familiar with, and just let me change my color quickly. Oops, where is this thing? All right, good. Let's look at some different types of lines. Let me just change my color. All right, I'm gonna be working with a, what's this now, a red line. Okay, yes, good. Now this line, if you notice, it is downward sloping from right to left. Okay, or it could look something like this also. All right, it could look something like that. It doesn't have to be running this, it doesn't have to slope this direction. It could also slope that direction. So since I'm working with lines, just let me quickly put my arrowheads on them, because once you're dealing with lines or straight lines, you must have arrowheads on the tip to show that they continue forever. Okay, so let me place my arrowhead there. So these 2 lines are called diagonal lines. Okay, so let's just make a quick note there. These 2 lines are called diagonal lines. So when you see a line looking like this, slanting, diagonal. Okay, these 2 lines would be classified as diagonal lines. Now, those are 2 types of lines. Let's look at the final one. So this line here is called my vertical line, and my vertical line is downwards. It's a straight line running from top to bottom. Okay, all right, let me just put on my arrowheads now to indicate what I'm talking about. It's running forever that way, and it's running forever that way. And as I've said, this line is what we call a vertical line. Okay, so to sum it up, we have three types of lines. A line that runs from left to right, it's called a horizontal line. A line that is downward sloping from right to left or from left to right is called a diagonal line. And the third type of line that we have is a vertical line. And a vertical line runs from top to bottom. Okay, that's it. Bye bye.